I'm a top line slut, okay? So I needed some encouragement to come out here and look at the rabbits and breed the rabbits and all that. I have not done much with the rabbits over the past few months. I haven't tattooed, well, since before convention, so I have a bunch of grass I need tattoos. But right now the focus is on that I need to breed. I need to breed spring litters. I'm taking a break from showing this year, but I'm not taking a break from breeding and improving and all that. In fact, this year should be really improvement heavy, but that's also to be improvement heavy doesn't mean I need a lot number wise. That being, to me, it means kind of going through generations more quick because you're not showing, which I already breed pretty young, but still. So anyways, I decided to go for New Zealand's first because I think they're the herd of my group that needs to be culled down the most. I started with them after convention of 2024, so I've had them for like a year and a half now, and I still have almost all my original does and I have all my original bucks, and then of course I've kept several kiddos out of them, and I just really just need to lower the numbers. So I'm gonna start with the bucks, start from oldest to youngest, and see how it goes. So this is Big Ben. He's a Lowe's rabbit. He was their herd buck for a little while. He was born in 2023. That'll give me a good chance to like dust off my rabbit terminology. Like I said, I have not done much with the rabbit, so I definitely feel rusty. So this guy's older, but where he really shines is his width. He has a really nice width, and he has really nice table fullness. It's a little long in the shoulder, but overall, his body type is short. I just think he's not even a shoulder, it's this midsection, he's a little long. And I think his depth's pretty good for his balance. Like, it balances well. See if I can turn him so you can see the width in the video. Yeah. I've kept a few kids out of him. One of the things I love about him is how big his head is. He's got a big old monster head. Even though he's not that big, he's only like 9.5 pounds or so. And I have other bucks that are bigger, but his bone is just really, really nice. And that is one of the reasons that I've just keep holding on to him. And so basically, I think I have 2 of his sons that are breeding bucks now. And they have given me kids. So basically I need to decide, am I going to cull this guy and keep his kids? Or am I going to keep him and cull his kids? Or do all 3 of them have something that my herd needs? I don't do reds. I decided not to do reds anymore. Honestly, I just really didn't like the color in the reds I had, even though they were from different lines, were all batshit crazy, and I just didn't enjoy that. The rest of my New Zealand's are pretty calm. So I do whites, blacks, blues, and brokens. Whites being my favorite, then blacks, then blues. So I definitely have more black than I do white right now, which I would like to correct that. I haven't gotten a lot of white recently, so. This is Mole's American Colt, right? That doesn't say it in there. One of my first herd bucks. He did really well at 2024 convention. I believe he was 3rd place white junior buck. He's not as balanced as Big Ben. He's quite a bit longer in length, but he's bigger. He's about 10.5 pounds or so. I think he's a little bit deeper. He has a longer midsection too, but some of that is age. So, yeah. What he lacks the most compared to Big Ben is he does not have the width. I mean, it's not bad. It's just not as good. Also, I'd say his bone is good or okay, but not as good as Big Ben's. I don't have any bucks. Yeah, I don't have any bucks out of him. I only have kept does out of him. And I think that's probably a good thing. His ears got really chewed up from the cold. But he's the only. Alright, I take that back. I do have 1 buck from him. And it's a buck I like a lot, even though he's... I'll get to that later. But, I don't want to call him because, A, I paid a crap ton of money for him. And, I don't know, I guess maybe sentimental value. You know, like I started with him. It's silly, I know. For as long as I've been breeding rabbits, I really shouldn't be hung up on sentimental value. But, I don't know, I'm only human. So, he's the only white buck I have. And then 1 other white buck that I have, which is his son. And then I have another white buck that I did not produce. So I would like to cull down to 2 white bucks, 2 black bucks. And 2 of the black bucks carry blue. The other one I do not know yet. Yeah. Okay, so this is ADM's, so me, Legacy Try. He's the first buck I've produced. I like him a lot, but I haven't got many kids out of him. In fact, none that I've actually survived. And I don't know if that's him or if that's my does. All I know is that I have not got anything out of him yet. Body type, I really like him a lot. I feel like he's everything American Colt is, but a little bit shorter distance, lengthwise. He's also an extremely aggressive breeder. Like, he really likes to, I don't know, he hurts the does pretty easily. And I don't like that. He has not been as bad lately, I'll say that. But if he's gonna be like that and I'm not getting babies, like, that's rather annoying. But yeah, very similar to American Colt, just a little bit better in length. And I probably wouldn't even be second guessing about keeping him over American Colt if it wasn't for the fact that I've not gotten many babies from him. Or none of them have survived, so I can't even, like, qualify the type that he's producing. So that leaves one other white buck. And like I said, I want to get down to 2 white bucks. He's the youngest, so he'll be at the end here. So this is ADM's Mixed Matter. So he's out of the same doe that Legacy Trot is, but instead of being out of American Colt, he's out of Big Ben. Very similar type to Legacy Trot. And that's another reason why I'm thinking about calling Legacy Trot, because I actually have gotten kits out of Mixed Matter, and they're just now like 8 to 10 weeks. No, they're like 12 weeks. And I do like them so far, but I don't know, it's only 1 litter, so it does make me nervous to cull Legacy Trot because of that. But on the other side of that, Legacy Trot is out of American Colt and Chasing Dreams, and I have both of those rabbits still. And I kept 2 daughters out of that pairing. So maybe I just need to, like, just do the tough call and just cull Legacy Trot. But like I said, this guy's super similar. He's not as wide up here, it looks like. But I don't know, it's still pretty good. I think in general he's a little bit smaller than Legacy Trot, but he is a few months younger. But they're both definitely seniors. I mean, see you. Get your hands off. I do like, most of my New Zealanders are calm enough that I can pose them without hands on, and I do like that a lot. But I really like this guy's profile. I wish he was probably like a pound heavier. I have not weighed him. He's probably 9 1/4 pounds, which makes sense. Big Ben, like I said, is like 9 1/2 pounds. Chasing Dreams is almost 11. I just wish he'd be a little bigger, I guess. And I have his sister as well, who I think is quite a bit nicer. But yeah, okay, I feel like I'm definitely leaning towards keeping him and culling Legacy Trot, and I'll keep American Colt. So I have that white buck, and then there's, like I said, there's one more white. So this one is ADM's Line Cast. This is my buck that got 5th place junior black buck at convention this past year. I don't know if he is a senior. He's just barely a senior now. I just had his first litter a couple days ago. I really like this guy's width. So he's out of a Lowe's doe, who I call her Paisley. I don't have her anymore, but Paisley was out of Big Ben, so this was daughter to father. And he's the only one that I kept, but I liked him a lot. He is being kind of bratty right now for some reason. I think he's got pretty good depth. His big thing is that he has a lot of width. Oh my goodness gracious. Usually it's the seniors that are buttholes to pose, but oh my god, dude. Anyways, I'm definitely not calling him. I like him a lot, even if he's being a little butthole about posing. He has really, really good width, which Big Ben has as well. I feel like this is almost a Big Ben copy, but definitely better fur, which Paisley had beautiful fur, and a little bit better midsection length. And I think he'll end up being bigger. He's probably a 1/4 pound smaller than Big Ben right now, so I definitely think he'll end up being bigger. So got one more buck. Okay, this is not a buck I've produced. This is a buck I purchased at convention from a breeder who I've bought New Zealand's from before. It wasn't for my New Zealand herd that I brought him. I bought those rabbits to make Rex New Zealand crosses. But he has very specific things in his New Zealand herd that I like and don't see too often on other New Zealands. So that's why I ended up getting him, even though I wasn't really in the market for getting a buck. Now, not surprising, I got him as a 4-month-old junior. He's tiny. Most of the time when I get juniors, their growth gets stunted. He made it through the cold snap though, so I guess I'm happy about that. I don't love him. Do wish he ended up being better. I paid a good chunk of money for him, so I probably will at least use him at least once. And because I do not have much white. But right, he basically has not grown at all since I brought him home. But like I said, I've bought rabbits from the breeder before. I really like the breeder. I like his stuff. He line breeds very heavy. So I just kind of have to follow my gut on this one. So that's all for the New Zealand bucks. And going through it, I think I came to the conclusion that I'm going to cull Legacy Trot, keep American Colt, and I'm going to keep Mixed Matter because he's so similar to Legacy Trot. And then I'm going to keep Line Cast, and I think think in a few months when I've gotten a little bit more juniors, this coming spring, and I've seen some Flying Cast kids, I'll feel more confident about calling Big Ben. He's another one I paid a lot of money for, probably too much money. But you know what? It's a rabbit, so yeah, too much money. But it's okay. It's my hobby. It's one of my most active hobbies, one of my most loved hobbies, so it is what it is. And I mean, he's made really good rabbits, so. In fact, American Colt and Big Ben are the most expensive rabbits I have ever bought in my history of rabbits, which I've been doing this since 2017. So, but starting with the good New Zealand herd was really important to me. So now we're going to move on to does. Of course, I have quite a few bit more does than I do bucks. And like I said at the beginning, I have almost all my original stock that I purchased, and then I have their kids. So I'm going to start again from oldest to youngest. This is Mole's hand-painted Jewel. It's one of my favorite New Zealands. She was actually the first doe that I purchased. I purchased her off an auction before convention of 2024. Something in me just told me like this was a good rabbit, and she ended up taking best broken junior doe at convention of 2024. Sadly, I've not had a whole lot of luck with her. She's had a few litters. Say the first litter I didn't like anything, culled them all. Second litter was like a Rex New Zealand litter, didn't like any of them enough to keep, culled them all. Then she had a smaller litter, and I kept one doe from that, which is Rooted Glory, which we'll get to later. So she's kind of difficult to get pregnant, and the type has been hit and miss on them. But anyways, the doe herself, I love this rabbit. I just love her. She has beautiful width, beautiful length, beautiful coat. She's not only broken, so it makes me sad that I haven't gotten more out of her, because I would like broken, like across all breeds is my favorite variety, hence me doing tries, right? She just has terrific hind loin width. I mean, look at that. And then she carries it all the way down. Beautiful back end, just beautiful. So I really hope that I can at least get one litter out of her this spring. I don't think I'll ever cull her, even if she is kind of a shit breeder, just for the fact that I like her so much. I have a buck, he's a California buck that I don't ever use. I think I've only used him twice in the time that I've had him, and I don't plan to cull him because he is such a good rabbit, and I just like having good rabbits. So Hand Painted Joy has made her home. Hopefully I can get babies out of her, some more babies out of her. Yeah, she's really beautiful and very, very chill. Yeah. She's just beautiful. I don't know what else to say. This is Mole's Kelly. I did not purchase her at the beginning. I purchased her like maybe 5-6 months, maybe not even that long after convention, but she's around the same age as Hand Painted Jewel and Chasing Dreams, which are from Mole as well. I hope I'm saying that name right. I'm pretty sure it's Mole. Maybe it's Moll. M-O-L-L. I'm sure a lot of people know of him, or if you don't know him, he's the one that does the rabbit show thing on YouTube. I think he's probably more popular for that, but he makes really beautiful New Zealands as well. It's him and his brother, so it's David Mole and Greg Mole, I believe. Anyways, this is Kelly. I purchased her very specifically for her hind quarter. I love this big old, just very full, very square loin. She carries it all the way down. She doesn't have the prettiest top line. I mean, it's not ugly, but it's just a little weird looking. She carries the loin a little forward, and then it's kind of weird right there. But she's another one I've had problems with getting pregnant. So she's had 2 successful litters, and then she's had 2 litters that, for whatever reason, they were DOAs. The 2 litters that she did give me, the first one, only one survived. Like a couple weeks into it, they all died except one. And the second one, which was very recently, same thing. First couple weeks, they all died except one. The ones that are remaining, beautiful. In fact, the older one is a Rex New Zealand cross. She just had her babies a couple weeks ago, I think. She's a very beautiful doe, just very, very beautiful rabbit. And then the little baby that I just weaned off for a week ago, very promising. Also a Rex New Zealand mix. So I have yet to make an actual New Zealand with her, which is fine, because technically the hind quarter piece I was more excited about getting on my Rex, because my Rex need more help in that department than my New Zealands. But my intention this spring is to breed her to a New Zealand buck. Who I'm going to breed her to, I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking I'm probably going to breed her to Mixed Matter, because Mixed Matter is a cross between Lowe's and Mole's lines, and it will help me, kind of get it more into my herd. Trying to mix the lines more so I can get to a cohesive ADM's look. This is Mole's Chasing Dreams, one of the first does that I purchased to start the herd. She has been a very reliable breeder. When I haven't gotten litters from her, it hasn't been because of her. At least I think it was buck related. She had 2 litters this winter that they didn't make it because of the extreme cold. But other than that, she's given me 2 good litters, and I've kept 2 to 3 rabbits out of each litter. I don't think she's anything like when you look at her like, ooh, amazing, but she's overall decently good. Really like her top line. She passes her top line on very well to her kids. I think she needs a little bit more width, and that shows up in her kids. Ooh, relax. So she's one that I'm definitely going to keep for now, even though I think I have 3 daughters out of her right now, 3 or 4. Probably going to breed her to, probably to line cast, because that was a low to low, and this is mole, so again, I want to, get them all mixed up. Although I have mixed matter, which mixed matter was out of Big Ben, and her and Big Ben and Paisley were line cast parents. So it would be very similar pairings. The other thing I do is breed to that little white New Zealand buck. I don't know how I feel about that. I probably will use him kind of like as my second string litters, since I'm pretty on the fence about the way he looks. And only really using him because I don't want my money to go to waste. I just want to say I'm impressed that I remember my kids' parents. I haven't had to look up the parents for any of the rabbits that I've produced so far, so good for me. This is ADM's Rooted Glory. She's out of Mole's Hand Painted Jewel and Mole's American Colt. I like her a lot. She's the only one I've kept out of Hand Painted Jewel so far. I think she really is like the best of both parents. But I have not successfully gotten a litter out of her yet. She had 2 during the winter that didn't make it from the extreme cold, so I'm not holding that against her. She's probably like 9 to 10 months old, so I'm gonna breed her here. Probably to mixed matter, I'm thinking, or line cast. I'm not sure yet, but I wish she had a bit better loin. It's not that it's bad, like it goes down nicely, but it needs to be a little wider. I do really like her length of body, which she got from her mom, because American Colt was quite long, back at the beginning of the video. So it's actually pretty funny. I took her to a convention this past year, and I was like so excited about her. I thought she was just so beautiful. Imagine her all in prime and stuff, and she got like, I don't think she even placed in. The judge was just like, she's okay, and I was just like, oh. But it's okay. New Zealanders are very competitive. I didn't expect to place at all, and Linecast placed well, so take what I can get. I'm not showing it all this year, so see, 2027 convention is in South Carolina, and I may go to that one, depends how life's going. But the year after that, I believe it's in Louisville again, which of course I'll obviously go to. So I don't go to a lot of local shows in general. So yeah, I try to go to like the bigger shows, which New Zealand Nationals are close to me this year, but I'm, like I said, not showing it all this year. So this was ADM's Rooted Glory. Not 100% sure on who I'm going to breed her to yet, but she is definitely on the A string of breeding. Hopefully I can get 2 litters out of her this spring. This is ADM's Black Matter, so Mixed Matter's sister. So she's out of Lowe's Big Ben, which that's not what they called him. I should say that. I can't remember off the top of my head what they called him, but I call him Big Ben. And Mole's Chasing Dreams. So Mixed Matter has a really beautiful profile, but it doesn't have that much width. And this girl has a lot of width. Profile, I don't want to say it's bad, but it's not as wow. I think it lacks a little depth to balance the really good width. So it's like Mixed Matter took more after Chasing Dreams, and she took more after Big Ben. She's like she's probably like 8 months. I haven't gotten litter out of her yet. She had 2 again during the winter. They didn't make it because of the cold, so I'm not holding that against her. Winter's always very hit and miss, and every year I'm telling myself, like, why do I bother doing it? And I still do it. Anyways, so she'll get bred here in a couple of days. I'm probably going to breed her to line cast. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I'll breed her to. Because I feel like, other than that, the best pairing would be to Mixed Matter, her brother. And I might do that for like the second litter of the spring, but for the first one, I don't want to do that. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to breed her to line cast. I did go out of order on my age. I was supposed to go from oldest to youngest, but they weren't in that order, so whatever. This is ADM's Dream Stride, and I have ADM's Puritan Run. They're sisters. Puritan Run just had a litter a couple days ago, so I'm not even going to bother pulling her out. I already knew that she was going to be a one and done for me. She's a very long doe, like even longer than American Colt, which is her dad. Yeah. So yeah, because I'm already keeping Chasing Dreams, which is their mom, and I'm keeping Dream Stride, and I'll probably keep some of Dream Stride's kids. I just don't feel like I need Puritan Run, so she will get cold when her litter's around 6 weeks or so. So anyway, this is Dream Stride. She looks a little rough right now because she did have a litter, and she was stuck with them until they were like 10 or 11 weeks old because I wanted them to stay together to stay warm during the extreme cold that we had. But you can see her length of body. I think she has a really beautiful, smooth top line. And it's funny, as babies, up till like 5 months old, I loved Puritan Run, and Dream Stride was just kind of like, eh. But I kept growing them because they were my first New Zealand litter, and so it was them two and Legacy Trot, the white buck. And so I just wanted to keep growing because I needed to know what happens. And yeah, so around 7 months, which I found is like when they really start to do their glow up, and they're 6/8 or intermediate still then, but that's when they kind of start doing their glow up to seniors. And yeah, so 7 months seems to be their time frame. And anyways, around then, Dream Stride became really beautiful. She got really full loin. Before the loin came in, it was very like she peaked early and then sloped off, which is very important to know because her spine has not changed. She still peaks the same, but her loin has just came in more over her hip, which made a better looking top line. But I still have to remember in my head that she structurally peaks early. Puritan Run, on the other hand, kept the same body shape, but she just got super, super duper long, and then she didn't have the depth at all to balance it. So Dream Stride became my favorite, and Legacy Trot stayed looking the same the entire time, which, that's cool, but I do wish Dream Stride had a little bit more width. But in general, she's lacking like loin because again, she had that litter. She was with them for a while. I'll probably wait another week or two to breed her, just so I can give her a little bit more time to recover from being with those little monsters. The litter that she had that I just weaned was with mixed matter, so they had the same moms but different dads. And so this time, I think I will breed her to line cast. Because right, so like what? So I said I'd keep Big Ben, American Colt, mixed matter, line cast, and that little white buck, which is his name's Toad. So I'm not going to be using Big Ben and American Colt that much since, even though I'm keeping them, since I already know what they produce, and basically what I'm trying to find out now is what their sons produce. Which I won't have a son from American Colt, so I mean that'll be one reason why I keep him. Anyways, I'm gonna probably breed of the line cast. It's the only thing that really makes sense. And he carries white, so I will get some whites. Our last litter, it was out of, like I said, mixed matter. Only got one white and like 5 or 6 blacks. She's a cute little doe, though. She's a good girl. So there's one other New Zealand doe that I'm not going to pull out, ADM's First Shade. I'm not going to pull her out because she is on her second litter, and it was a back-to-back litter, and they're 2 weeks old, so this is not really fair to judge her right now. But she was a rabbit that did not get pregnant until like almost a year old, so I'm very confident with the way she looked because I looked at her all the time trying to decide if I wanted to keep waiting for her to have babies. She has a really beautiful, beautiful top line, but zero width to balance. But her first litter showed a lot of promise. That was with her and Big Ben, and then this litter that she has now is her and line cast, so the litters will be very similar. She'll probably get replaced this spring. That would be the idea. She's definitely not a doe that I'll use for generation after generation after generation. Also, she was out of a blue doe that I bought at the beginning, and her dad, was her dad Big Ben? Pretty sure her dad was Big Ben. It's the only thing that really makes sense. So, but anyways, that blue doe that I originally got was almost purposely, like specifically because I wanted a blue, and she was half decent, so I got her. Only used her for the litter, cold her, so I kept First Shade. Her first litter there was 2 blues, the second litter there's 4 blues, and then I have this doe. Oh, so she's out of the same doe as First Shade, so I guess I used that doe twice. Pretty sure. Anyways, this is what? Oh yeah, Hope It Holt. No, Deep Hope. That's right. I had this doe when she was born in like late summer. I showed her at convention. Did I show her at convention? I don't even remember. But I didn't really look at this litter that much. Again, I kept her because mostly for the fact that she was blue and she's not terrible. I haven't gotten a successful, like she hasn't gotten pregnant or anything like that. So I'll give her a chance this spring. But if she doesn't have anything this spring, then I'll end up calling her. Like I said, I do whites, blacks, blues, and brokens. And my favorite to least favorite is white, black, blue. So I do like a good blue, but I'm definitely not like not sentimental about it or really tied to it. So I know I have animals that carry blue, so I guess it really wouldn't hurt my feelings to cull this doe, even if she's technically my only blue right now. Anyways, she has really good length. I wish her top line was prettier. It's pretty rounded. I mean, there's nothing really special. I'm looking here on my phone, which is showing me what the camera's seeing. And yeah, it pretty much confirms what I'm seeing. I will say she has pretty good depth, especially for her length of body. Like it's a nice looking profile. She does have decent width for sure, which, she's out of Big Ben, so that makes sense. She's not bad, she just doesn't excite me. And some of that is the fact that she's blue, and for the fact that her top line's not the prettiest, I'm definitely like for funsies, I'm a top line slut, okay? But I also am totally aware that top line is only one piece of the whole thing. So, and in some senses, she's like complete opposite of First Shade, which is really my only other blue piece doe. Like I said, First Shade has a beautiful top line, but she's like, First Shade is like this long, so like 4 inches longer than this girl, and like this wide, like crazy narrow. So I almost wish this was a buck so I could breed it to First Shade, but it is what it is. So that's my last doe. And going through all that, so the only thing that I confirmed to really know is that I'm going to cull Puritan Run. I'm going to cull Deep Hope if she does not give me a litter this spring, because I just don't feel like putting up with that. As you can see, I've had some troubles with getting my New Zealand's bred, and trying to figure out if that's like a genetic thing. Is it something I'm doing? Is it just honestly just odds? Like, I'm not sure. So going through all that, I really didn't pick out type-wise any does to cull, but does that I may cull based on merit is Kelly. She was the first white doe that pulled out because I've had problems with getting her pregnant, even though she's produced. And in the litters that she's had, she's struggled to keep them alive. So bad mothering skills. Why would you want that in a meat breed, even if you aren't eating them? Chasing Dreams, I think she'll be one that I'll cull later this year, and I will be purely for the fact that because I need to cull her. It'll be hard not to keep her for sentimental values, but I'm already keeping Hand Painted Jewel for the rest of her life, so I can't do that with all my does. And then there was Rooted Glory. I'll keep trying to get a litter out of her. She's had a couple litters, so I know she can get pregnant. Black Matter, again, has had a couple litters. I know she can get pregnant. Dream Stride. I still want to get a few litters out of her. And then First Shade, the litter she has now is probably her last one. Assuming that her kids came out decent, I probably won't need her no more, so I probably will cull her. So that's Puritan Run, Kelly, First Shade. So that's 3 does and Deep Hope. Even if Deep Hope does give me a litter this spring, I'll probably still cull her at the end of spring. So that's at least 4. Deep Hope, Kelly, Puritan Run, First Shade. That's at least 4 does that I plan to cull, at least by the end of spring. And then Chasing Dreams I'll probably cull at the end of the year. Buckwise, decided that I was going to cull Legacy Trot, which I might still breed him to some does now and just cull him. I mean, he's here, I might as well use him. I don't hate the guy or anything. And then, so that would leave me with 5 bucks. And that white buck I'll probably use a couple times, and then the little white buck that I'm not loving, probably use him a couple times and then cull him. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good starting point for springtime New Zealand. So basically I just need to decide who I'm breeding to what, which I stated some of those plans during, the evaluating. So yeah, I'm going to do the rest of my herds as well, just probably not today. And I'll just do them in their separate videos because maybe you don't want to watch particular things. I definitely have a lot of evaluating to do. Like I said, I've really not done anything rabbit related the past several months, so this was good for me though. It helped me kind of bring my head back into the game.